Hey there, let's first understand how this works. In this project, we use two sides, a front and a back card. We place both inside the wrapper called card inner, and this wrapper acts as the rotating engine, so instead of rotating each side, we rotate the inner container. To prevent the back of each side from showing, we apply backface visibility hidden to both front and back. And then, to create a real 3D effect, we add perspective to the parent card. And finally, we use transition on the inner container to make the rotation smooth and natural. Alright, let's start building our 3D flip card project step by step. First, I'm going to create a new folder on my computer. You can name it anything you like, but I call mine flip card project. Now I'm going to open Visual Studio Code. Once Visual Studio Code is open, I click on Open Folder and select the folder I just created. Now we are inside our folder. Next I'm going to create two files. The first file will be an HTML file, so I name it index.html, and the second file will be a CSS file, so I name it style.css. The HTML file will be responsible for the structure of our card, and the CSS will be handle the design and the animation. I'll just link my HTML file to the CSS file using the link tag inside the head section. Next, I create a div with a class called container, and inside it I add another div with a class called card. Now we're going to CSS file and reset margin and padding to 0 and set box sizing to border box to make layout sizing more predictable and consistent. The body is the whole page where everything is placed. Min height 100 ph makes the page full screen height. And display flags turn the body into a flexed container. Justify content center aligns everything horizontally, and align item center aligns everything vertically. Background sets the page color, and padding adds space around the edges so content doesn't touch the screen. After all of this, now we need to move to the container. The container is used to hold and organize all the cards on the page. First of all, we have display flex is used to align the cards easily, and we have flex wrap allow the cards to move to the next line if needed, and justify content center keeps them centered horizontally, and gap adds a space between the cards. The card defines the sizes and create the 3D space using perspective. Width and height set the card size, and perspective create depth for the flip effect. Here I am adding a temporary background to the card to check the result, and then I remove it. Now we go into the HTML file and add the card inner. Card inner takes full width and height of the card. Position relative lets us position front and back inside it, and transition makes the flip animation smooth. Transform style preserve 3D keeps both sides in 3D space. And then we add the hover effect. When we hover on the card, we rotate the inner part. Transform rotate by 180 degrees flips the card, and this creates the 3D flip animation. I'm just removing the double quotes here, and then let's come back to the HTML file again. Now we add the card front and card back divs. These two elements represent the two sides of the card. The front shows the main content, and the back shows additional information after flipping. Now let's switch to CSS and style the card front and back. We use absolute position to place both sides exactly on top of each other, and we use inset 0 to make the elements fill the entire card. We have border radius adds a smooth rounded corner, and again we have padding and display flex. We use flex bars to control the layout easily, and we have flex direction color aligns content vertically, justify content space between spread content evenly from top to bottom. And backface visibility hidden hides the backside when it's flipped. And we have a specific style for card front. We have background gradient. It gives the front a modern gradient look. And color sets the text color to white. And we have border adds a subtle glowing border. Box shadow creates a soft glow effect around the card. Now we start the card back. We have background. We use a darker background for contrast, and we have color. Text color is white for readability, and we have transform rotate Y 180 degree. It actually rotate the back so it shows after the flip. And we have border adds a subtle glow border, and we have box shadow create a soft glowing effect. Let's check what we built so far. We're almost done. Now let's add the information. Inside the card front, we add an image, a title, and a price. Before writing more code, I add some product images and organize them inside an images folder. Now I can easily access the images. Now I'm adding a heading and also a div with a price class. And inside the card back, we add a title, a short description, and eventually a button. Now let's add the final styles to complete the design. For the card front image, we set the image width to 100% and add border radius for a smooth corner. And for the price style, we increase the font size for visibility and use a cyan color to highlight the price. And also we have margin top, and after that we're going to style for our button. We add the padding and remove the border, and also background color makes it a standout. And then the cursor pointer shows it's clickable, and transition makes hover smooth. Let's check out the final result. It's almost done. And for button hover, on hover we change the background color for a better look. Let's see the result again. As you can see, the color changes on hover. And now we go back to the index file and duplicate the card for other products. And finally, let's update the images and product details. And this is the final result, clean, modern, and fully interactive. All built with just HTML and CSS. Try it yourself and level up your UI.